The 46 football team battled early with the last 14 points of the game that was 3 games to the 34-20 on Saturday. First time in nearly a month to face the 2-2 Pittsburgh St. Marlowe. The Bruins will be going to their first back-to-back wins over PSU in a decade. And with that, I'm going to the Hornet Talk here. Since August 15th, this game will be on Saturday, September 27th. So almost a month to the day between games for Florida State at home. This is the first season since 2019 where Florida State does not have back-to-back home games to watch. So for Florida State, it's been a long time, especially when you have your own wild. I think you go 10 hours now on a plane to Angelo State, and you go 5 hours out to Bobby on the bus and out on the interstate, going up to Florida, Nebraska. It feels good that we're going to be right here for this matchup. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. Looking to be with the already got two matchup at noon. Finally got the James Field last season and how they were right here on Bill Squirrel. Obviously, a tough day in the office for the seat, and Sunday
Tilted.
On Saturday, this is the first Saturday for the chance here on out. Another chance to keep the front, we might have to be the second. So 3 chances on the year. I got a top 25 victory. It's going to be 13 points. But first,
our last chance to change it.
Today's special brought to you by 67 websites.
We need to move those front here.
Monday, 8 hours for $6 maintenance, and also Monday, the tailgate. Pink lemonade, solid rock is $7 here at 67 event space. So I mentioned, definitely supply both of those things online,
It doesn't sound good.
So on the opening drive, you can be able to respond to a 98-yard drive to but if you respond to a big play, you can Schultz on there.
I don't know.
You can show with a big play, you don't need the head coach of the Florida State Hornets. Jared Higgins, and boy, it's great to get in and show the ball like that, especially after him being injured to start the year, and you've got to be the wide receiver spot. Great for him to get involved in the offense early and get a big play.
Yeah, no question to get him back. He's a better player. We don't have a lot of better guys out there right now. Is playing at a high level. Yes.
Maybe not a veteran of the world program, but certainly a football veteran who is landed lots of defense, definitely a big play here, but including Boston, his first career sack against the Wolves.
Those are the levels that we were at. These are the levels we were at on here the last time. Is something not plugged correctly? No, it should be. It still didn't be on. I almost wonder if we should have just done that. If we had the cable the other way around, where like it was over here, after going into that end. That could be part of it. I think we're hearing ourselves better. Hey.
He can still get a lot better.
Later in the game, UNK was going for it. They were trying to put the Hornets away. Went for it 4th and 1 inside the Hornet 5-yard line when there was another Schultz coming up with a big play. This time it was Tyler with the stop behind the line of scrimmage. Aggressive play calling by the blue and gold. The throw it in the backfield. Here is Schwank. Schwank tackles at the 5, and it'll be stopped. It is Tyler Schultz with a big tackle for loss. -1, and the Hornets get off the field. I know that any team would probably be, you've talked about how these guys have waited their turn, such good guys in the classroom, in the community, and just good representatives of your program. And any program would love to have one Schultz. You got 2 Schultz, and they're making plays on both sides of the ball.
No question. They've done a great job. Both those guys were almost literally walk-on players for us and have earned everything that they've gotten here. And not only are they really good football players, Tyler, of course, being an all-conference player last year and having all the interceptions that he had. And then those guys off the field, too, like they were probably top 5 on our team with community service hours.
Wow.
Actually might have been number 1. But they do their job on the field, and they're also some of the classes they take. To be honest with you, Blake, I don't know if I can spell some of them. All right, they're very smart in the classroom too as well.
Last play that we'll share with you here today, although we should point out Kingsley Bennett had a 45-yard receiving touchdown, but I picked out this one from Mason Ford with a nifty mood after the catch to pick up his first score of the year. This one tied the game at 20-20. Up off over the middle. It's complete. Ford spins into the tackle at the 15-yard line, and he will dart into the end zone. Touchdown, Emporia State. Mason Ford, not a big guy, but boy, you talk about a guy that has great hands. He may have some of the best hands, I think, on the team. I mean, in terms of a guy that can reach out, make a bad throw into a reception and save, kind of keep you guys on schedule. Ford does a lot of really good things for you.
He's doing a great job. I talked about him in front of the team yesterday in our team meeting, just how far he's come along. And he did coming out of the spring, he probably didn't have his best spring, but he's come in camp and has been as solid as they come and is making plays. Not only does he do a great job for us on offense, but he's a hard hat guy, meaning that he's also on basically almost every one of our special teams, and he does a great job on those. And it's good to see him playing at a high level, which, with our receivers right now, it's we need some of those guys to step up, and he's one of those guys that's doing that right now.
Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll dive in deeper to this Nebraska-Kearney game that we had on Saturday, and, of course, get you set for Family Day coming up on this Saturday back at Welch Stadium finally as the number 18 Pittsburgh State Gorillas come in. 1 and 2 are the Hornets, 2 and 2 are the Gorillas. So we'll recap the Loper game when we come back. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
At Newman Regional Health, our local providers are here to care for the people who matter most, our friends, family, and neighbors. From annual checkups to everyday care, they're here to help you stay healthy, feel your best, and achieve your healthy goals. Call 620-343-2376 to schedule your appointment today or visit us online at newmanrh.org. Newman Regional Health, here to support you and the community we call home.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. Wear your shield. Wear your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
For a free personal protection review, contact Shelter Agent Callie Medrano in Emporia. Catch the spirit and gear up for game day with Sports Connection, Kansas' leading team sporting goods provider. Sports Connection is your go-to for anything sporting goods, with the biggest brands in sports at competitive prices. Whether you're there for the tailgate or touchdowns, Sports Connection has the ESU fan apparel for game day that you need. Show your Hornet pride and get your fan gear at Sports Connection, 2721 West 15. Stingers up.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
The road to adventure is calling.
Road trip!
If you're planning a road trip, be sure to schedule your maintenance with Black Creek Diesel and Automotive first. Oil changes, alignment, brakes, and tires, everything you need to keep your car cruising. And they'll even give you a free digital inspection. Hit the road with peace of mind. Give them a call today. Black Creek Diesel and Automotive, 620-343-0086. Or stop by 3105 West 6th in Emporia.
At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe education is the key to a brighter future. That's why they support students, teachers, and lifelong learners with smart financial solutions, from savings plans to free financial education tools. Whether you're just starting school or continuing your journey, they're here to help every step of the way. Emporia State Federal Credit Union, where education and community come first. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Mix 104.9.
Getting set for the home return of Emporia State football. Welch Stadium will have it for you Saturday with a noon RV Doc pregame show and the kick at 1 o'clock. We're here with head coach of the Emporia State Hornets, Garrett Higgins, following the Hornets defeat 34-20 on the road at Nebraska Kearney. So the two longest road trips of the year are out of the way. Overall, coach, competitive game early. Second half, obviously, they were able to pull away, make enough plays down the stretch. But overall, what were your thoughts? Now you've had a chance to kind of sit back and look at it a little bit. Your thoughts on the Nebraska road trip to Kearney?
Yeah, well, we in spurts, we played. I'll start offensively first. We at times look like one of the best offenses in the country, to be quite honest. We were very explosive. If you look at our drive, our touchdown drives, we went. I think
30 yards or more on each of the scoring plays.
Exactly. And, we were able to move the ball very efficiently and very quickly down the field and put points on the board. Unfortunately, the critical mistakes have been something that has bitten us. And, we had an opportunity even there, in the fourth quarter. We drove it down. Yeah, it was the third quarter. Right there at the end of the third quarter, we could have tied it.
Yep.
They were up 27-20. We had a turnover down there inside the 10, and that was a game changer. And there's a lot of plays, believe me, in that game that were mistakes were made, but that one was definitely a critical one. And even when they got up on us 34-20. We came back and was driving the ball, and then we were in a 4th and 1 and jumped. We weren't set and backed us up to 4th and 6. We weren't able to convert on the 4th down, and that was the game. But, we had our opportunities. I really still believe in this team. I thought going into the game, we knew we had to stop their running back. A couple of things we talked about before the game was just, and even the whole week was stopping their running back and protecting the football. And we also felt like that if we could get pressure on their quarterback, that we could force him into some mistakes. We weren't able to stop their running back. And, he had a field day against us, and we got to be better. We got to be able to stop the run more consistently. And then, like I said, offensively, we with this group that we have, and it is a young group, but it's like a roller coaster ride where we look really, really good. And then there's those – we just can't afford to make the mistakes that we're making and be able to win games in the MIAA. We're just not going to be able to. Been doing this long enough to know that. Again, this is we're a good football team, and we just got to be more consistent, and we got to put things together for 4 quarters. And I knew going into this year may have some growing pains, a lot of new faces, but we got a lot of guys growing up. We really do. And like I said, we just got to be more consistent.
Let me ask you to put on your psychology major, get that psychology major degree out here, because, you've had 2 losses and obviously an A reaction. I'm not saying it's the natural reaction because I don't know if that's the case for your program with the culture that you've built, but you get in and then all of a sudden you have back-to-back losses and then that's a trend. But, it's just one game. How do you kind of go about with the psyche of this team? I know that you mentioned after Angelo State you were hard on them, and not that you don't want to correct the mistakes, but at the same time you do want the guys to realize, hey, there's another game to play. And if you went on Saturday, you guys are probably feeling pretty good about how things are right now.
Well, first and foremost, we got a competitive group. And, of course, they're disappointed and upset after the game, as we all are. We had a team, we bring them in on Sunday and watch film, all that, and a lot of things that we talked about. And one was, if you look at the MIAA, I think it's just the league is different this year. And I don't know if you could say there's one team that you could circle right now and say they're the heavy favorite to win the league. And, if you look across, Washburn was ahead of UCO.
Oh, that game was in the balance for sure.
Midway through the 4th quarter, had an opportunity to beat them. So that's what I told our team was that,
heck, look at Missouri Southern, which has kind of been down bad a little bit. That was a 7-point game between them and Northwest Missouri.
Exactly. And Central Missouri and Missouri Western, they were back and forth.
Yep.
Central Missouri had to come back and win that game. That was their first win of the season. Pitt early on struggled, and now they've had 2 big wins. So
there was no game in the MIAA last week that was decided by more than 2 possessions.
And that's when I talk about where we're at as a group right now, is that we're not good enough to overcome the mistakes. We've been good enough before to overcome these type of mistakes, but right now at this point in time with the development of this team, we're not. And but that was the message that we talked about yesterday, of course, was the critical mistakes, and then just the fact that we've had 1 conference game. We've lost 2 in a row, and that's tough. Where we have set the bar at within this football program right now, sometimes that's difficult to digest, believe me. But I believe this group will rebound. And like I told them, we can all handle getting beat by a better team. And,
sure.
And I tip my hat off to Kearney. They did a great job. I thought they had a great game plan with their quarterback, who was here with us, over a year ago. And they executed their game plan better than we executed our game plan. But at the same time, I think we're everything's still in front of us. And if we get beat by a better team, but we play really well, hey, we got beat by a better team. But to put ourselves in situations like we did against Angelo, and then to turn around and even have a week off, the disappointing thing about it is do it again in some critical situations there against Kearney. We're not going to get the job done. And you just talked about there with the scores in the MIAA. So we got to get better there. And I believe that we will. I think our guys still have a lot of confidence. We'll know a lot more tomorrow when we go out there and practice and see, how they're going to practice. But I believe in this group, and I think they're going to practice the right way.
One guy that you've said, consistently, steadily that you've believed in has been Ben Harris. He was coming off of a 4-interception game, came out 34 of 55, 382 yards, 3 touchdowns. It was a career high for him in attempts, in yards and in passing touchdowns overall from Ben Harris. Great bounce back game for him in the passing game for the most part.
Yeah, I walked away from that game, to myself and even talking to the coaches on staff, like Ben grew up, and I thought he played a great game. I really do. And I walked away from that game thinking to myself, we got a chance to be really good if we're consistent like that at the quarterback position. And as you know, you've been here now, and I've seen when we operate at a high level at that position, and this is through the years with the quarterbacks that's been here, we've been a very good football team. And for Ben to play, I thought he played a clean game. I really do. I mean, there's some throws he missed. Sometimes that's going to happen. But, man, he made some throws. I'm going to be honest with you, Blake. The touchdown that he hit to Kingsley, he hadn't hit that route all week in practice. And that's it's kind of down in the progression when you go to Kingsley on that route concept, and he did it. And so those are the things I look at. Plus, he protected the football and made good decisions with the football. And I also know that he's a tough-minded individual, because that Angelo game, it hurt him. And because he takes a lot of pride in how he plays, but he also loves this place. And I told you this last week, he's married to this football program. And he's not dating it, all right? And it means something to him. And I was so proud of how he responded. Now, we didn't get the win, all right? But at the same time, very excited about his play and how much more room he can grow and get better.
Coming up on the show today, we'll be joined by defensive backs coach Jace McDown, and also off the offensive line, Talon Wheeler, both coming up here on the show today, talking about that defense. And you mentioned that didn't have the game plan in place to stop Isaiah Harris. He was as good as advertised, offensive player of the week in the conference. But it seemed like early on, you guys kind of did stuff him up, and there were a bunch of runs. They tried to get him going early, and it didn't feel like through the first maybe 15, 20 minutes of the game they really had him going consistently. What was working for you guys early against him?
Yeah, I think that, he's the type of back that the more that he carries it, the better that he gets. I thought we needed to play more physical on defense. I don't think we tackled well. Now, again, you have a good running back. A lot of times that has something to do with it. But, I just don't think for 4 quarters we played with the type of physical presence that we need to play with defensively.
And you look at how the time of possession turned out. They had the ball for over 38 minutes. How much did that play a factor late, just your defense being out there a lot, it seemed like in the second half?
Well, it definitely plays a factor. And, I look at the first drive they had, Blake, they went 98 yards and took over 7 minutes with the football. All right. So, look, as well as I do, we're not going to win the time of possession battle a lot.
Not at the top of your game plan, no.
We're not. And, but at the same time, defensively, we got to get off the field too as well. Like I said, the 98-yard drive, that hurt us from that standpoint. So the time of possession was such a big margin that, yeah, it did affect our guys, but that's where we got to get better at, and on third down, we got to get home. We got to get off the field. And the thing that I look at on the flip side of that is we're very explosive offensively. Like I said, we just are not consistent right now. And that's what we got to, and once we become consistent, then that's going to help the other side of the football too as well.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk defense with the defensive backs coach, Jace McDown. He'll be coming up next again. We're talking offense a little bit later on with Talon Wheeler off of the offensive line. So all that coming up. We're getting set for Pittsburgh State. The number 18 Gorillas coming to town on Saturday for a 1 o'clock kick. We'll have it for you on Mix 104.9. Coach, we'll talk a little bit more about the Gorillas here in 20 or 30 minutes or so. So back with Coach McDown after this, live from 627 Event Space. This is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter Agent Kelly Medrano for a free personal protection review.
It's time to fall forward into football season and cheer on your favorite team. So why not get new gear for you and your family at Sports Connection? Sports Connection carries Emporia High and area high school team apparel, as well as ESU, KU, and K-State gear. They also do custom screen printing for your team, booster club, or your family and fans. Catch the spirit with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th, here in Emporia.
At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe education is the key to a brighter future. That's why they support students, teachers, and lifelong learners with smart financial solutions, from savings plans to free financial education tools. Whether you're just starting school or continuing your journey, they're here to help every step of the way. Emporia State Federal Credit Union, where education and community come first. Federally insured by the NCUA.
When you need fast care, Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care is here for you. Conveniently located on site at Newman Regional Health, Express Care offers walk-in service for non-emergency illnesses and injuries, no appointment needed. Open 7 days a week to keep you feeling your best. Call today at 620-343-7828. Trust Express Care for quick, reliable treatment. Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care, helping the Hornets achieve their healthy goals.
Mix 104.9.
Want to call your attention to a couple of things for Family Day. They've got an extra tailgate for Family Day. It's going to be down by the sand volleyball courts there around the stadium. They've got 1,000 people signed up for Family Day activities so far. Obviously, we got to have you here. It's a massive, massive game. Biggest one of the year. I know that's, as Coach likes to say, cliche-ish, but it really feels true with both of these teams coming in with 2 losses between the Hornets and the Gorillas. Kickoff is set for 1 o'clock, and we have had a great crowd in the season opener. Need to have another one, so we need plenty of people wearing black and gold, not red and gold, coming in on Saturday. So we'll see you out there, and if you can't get there, of course, listen on the radio on Mix 104.9 or listen online, KVOE.com. Let's talk a little bit of defense now. In his 3rd year with the Hornets, defensive backs coach Jace McDowell joining me here on Hornet Talk for this segment. Coach, appreciate it. Thanks so much for the time.
Yeah.
Well, looking at this game for you guys against Nebraska Kearney, like we were talking about here in the commercial break, it really felt like you guys started the game so very well. And I know there was that 98-yard drive, but it seemed like there were a lot of runs that Harris just kind of got stuffed on early in the game. How do you kind of encapsulate the Nebraska Kearney performance for you guys on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they did a good job. They had a good game plan. They made some adjustments that we didn't adjust too well on the fly, watching back the film. But at the end of the day, like we talked about, we missed some tackles that we need to make, and we know that, and we got to work that more, and that's on us as coaches to preach that and make sure we're making those tackles down the stretch. It's easy to make the tackles in the first quarter, the second quarter. Second half, when you're a little bit tired, those are when those tackles need to be made, and that's when we saw the missed tackles start to add up was the second half. So
they did. I mean, Christian Harris, he's a great player. We knew that going into it, and he did everything that we expected him to do. We didn't want him to, but he's a good player. But there's no reason a couple of those plays should have happened just with missed tackles and fits. So
He was the co-offensive player of the week. They gave it to the Central Missouri quarterback as well. I'm not sure that I would have done that. I think that Harris deserved it on his own. But overall, in terms of defending the run game, you guys have had a ton of running game teams against you with Minot State, where they run 90% of the time. Angelo State certainly establishes the run. And Nebraska Kearney, I mean, I think you have to say they're a running football team right now. Overall, how do you guys feel about the run fit and how you guys are playing the run from the defensive back position?
Oh, it's something as a whole we know we need to be better at. I mean, if you're as a team, if you want to go win championships, you better be able to run the ball and be able to stop the run. And we know that as a defense, we got to do our part. And we know as a DB room, people are going to get in 12 personnel and run the ball. With historically how we've been in a three-man front, that's what people are going to try to do to us. So as DBs, we got to get in the run fit too. I mean, when there's 8 gaps, you got to have DBs in the fit. So we know we got to work on that. We know we got to be better at that as well. And I mean, that's our point of emphasis this week. We know if you put that on film to give up that many rushing yards, everybody's going to try and do it. It's a copycat league, and people are going to try and do the same thing. So that's all we're looking forward to doing this week. Obviously, we know we got to stop the pass too. Pitt State has a good quarterback and some good receivers, but we're putting our point of emphasis on being able to stop the run.
Well, I know that one of those guys that's going to have to come up and do that and not afraid to do that is Tyler Schultz, a preseason D2Football.com Elite 100 watch list player, a guy that made a huge tackle for loss that we had in our specials today with the highlight to stop them on 4th down and 1 inside the 5-yard line. Just talk about his evolution coming along as being a guy who you thought, you know what, he needs to be a backup, but now has worked his way into being one of the best defensive backs in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, he's a joy to coach because of what Coach Higgins was talking about. He's so smart. You can do anything you want with him, and he'll pick it up. Like he was playing in a little bit different role this week because of our depth at linebacker right now with some injuries, so we had him in a different role, more of a nickel role, and he ran with it. It wasn't necessarily what he's best at, but that's what we had to do because of our personnel. He did a really good job of adapting to it, and obviously that play on 4th down was a huge momentum gainer that obviously the next drive we came out and didn't, as a defense, and didn't continue that momentum, but that was a huge play to make in the red zone, and he's continued to make those plays. And like you said, like as a redshirt freshman, redshirt sophomore, you're looking at that kid as hey, he'll be a good backup, a good special teams guy, and then he just continued to get better every practice, every week, and he continues to get better. And I know he's not okay with how that game went as a defense or with himself either. He knows there's plays in there that he needs to make, and that's the good thing about him is he's always going to continue to get better. And he came to me, heck, Sunday when he went to treatment, was like, hey, can we do this for tackle takeaway? I think the guys will get better with this if we do this way for tackling and things like that. So he's always trying to think about the next thing to get better.
It seemed like there were a couple of plays, not that it was a major thing, but it seemed like there were a couple of plays where their receiver was pretty well covered by your guy, and they were right there running step for step, but they didn't, weren't able to turn around, find the football, play the ball. How do you guys feel, or have you as the defensive backs coach kind of coach when to play the ball, how to turn around? You don't want to get those penalties, but obviously you want to make big plays too.
100%. I think looking back at it now, I think I took JJ for granted last year because I didn't have to coach him much on that. He was just a great football player, and he usually made the play. I took that for granted having into the boundary.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He was pretty good. And so we have a good group of corners. Again, it's just like we talked about yesterday in the staff meeting as a defense. Those guys just need to make a play to get them the confidence to go make it in this league because they can. Like you said, we were in great position on the 2 balls that they caught on us. We were in teaching tape position, really. We just didn't finish the 3rd phase and go finish the play on the ball. So those guys are continuing to get more confidence, and they're going to continue to make plays. Once they make that first one, I think it's going to be like a snowball effect of, hey, I can make this play in this league because the only corner that's really made plays in this league is Peyton, and Peyton had a good day doing his job. The other ones just got to go make a play, and they'll be fine after that.
Yeah, I know Tyler Schultz doesn't seem like he's getting the numbers this year, but I think probably it's because teams are thinking, you know what, let's not throw to this guy because he was so good last year. Clem McCullough has been a guy that's made big plays on the ball. I was so impressed with him. He was our guest, our player guest last week. Talk about coaching him, and he's an FCA member, wants to be in law enforcement. Just a really impressive young man, I thought, last week.
Yeah, I mean, when I was recruiting him out of Iowa Western, obviously the first thing is he comes from a great program, and that's one thing we always like. He won a national championship as a starter in the national championship game for them. So, I mean, that's the first thing we looked at, just coming from a program. And then as you get to know him, just his family, his dad's a pastor. I mean, he's just a great kid. I mean, he's never going to do anything to harm the program off the field. In the classroom, he does great. And just the leadership, obviously being voted a captain by his peers as a transfer is very rare in our program. So the fact that the guys felt that much about him to make him a captain as a second-year transfer is impressive in itself.
We're talking with Jace McDowell. He's defensive back coach in his third year, but he's been a Hornet for a long time. Former player here, one of many that have stepped out of being a Hornet onto being the coaching staff. It seems appropriate to have you on. You've been a member of the Hornet family. It's family day. You've got young baby here to our right with mom, and it seems to be enjoying dinner just fine. What's it like for you to kind of grow here in this program, start your family here in Emporia, and become a bigger member? I think co-defensive coordinator or associate defensive coordinator now, but you're definitely a big part of the Hornet family.
Yeah, I mean, this place means the world to me. I've learned how to be a member. I got here when I was 18 years old, and I turned 28 in a couple weeks. So, I mean, I've been here truly 10 years, and it's changed me in the best ways. I met a lot of my best friends here that were in my wedding, and obviously a lot of the coaches on staff either coached me or I played with at some point. So it's just there's not a lot of places in the country I don't think you're going to get that as far as our attention on staff and guys that understand the culture and being a part of it. So there's times like where Coach Higgins will ask us questions like, hey, when you were a player, what did we like doing, or what did we do, or what did you like, or what did you not like? And I don't think there's a lot of places in the country that you can do that with. So it's awesome to be able to be here.
Looking at Pittsburgh State, I'll give you one Pitt State question before we go. Looking at them, in terms of their receiving core, it's really been two different guys. Their top two wide receivers, so it's not surprised they're number one, number two on the depth chart, but a lot of their offense, they've combined for 33 catches, and each of them has at least 244 yards. So you look at those two guys, they've got nearly half of their yardage, 33 of their 75 yards, and each with just about 250. One of them's got almost 300. So let's round it off, and we'll say 550. They've got probably about 525 of their 956 yards receiving. So you know what the offense is going to run for them in the passing game through number 2 and number 4. When you've got the numbers so, stilted one way, leaning one way like that, I guess you guys in practice had to deal with that kind of last year, dealing with TK. Yeah. How do you guys go about your game plan knowing that, okay, these are really two guys that they really try to force the ball to?
Yeah, I think again, first off, going back to we got to stop the run first off because they are a balanced
They will
offense.
run the team. Yeah, run the ball. Absolutely.
They're a super balanced offense. They do a good job of making you honor both. I mean, you can't really sell out to stop one or the other. They do a good job with that. They have a cell of good backs. I mean, they have 3 or 4 backs. I think 2 of them are redshirt seniors that have been there a long time. So first off, obviously, we got to stop the run. But getting to those guys, Grayson Holbert and then the Parchman kid that was there last year, I think he had a touchdown against us last year as well. Grayson Holbert's came out of, I mean, he's always been there, been a special teams guy, been a spot player, but this year he's kind of came onto the scene. I actually played with his brother, Lawson, here.
Okay.
So his brother, he went to Pitt, but he's a great player, explosive. I know against Pitt or against Hayes last week, he kind of was the one to have the big 70-yard touchdown to just kind of separate that game when they were down. So both of those guys are super explosive, and they're going to run a lot of RPOs and get us to suck up on the run and then try and throw it over our head. So we're going to have to be disciplined. They run a ton of double moves, so we're going to have to be disciplined on the back end, but also obviously stop the run first. So we got to, in that order, make sure we have good eyes, stop the run, but then play the pass.
Emporia State hosting Pittsburgh State coming up on Saturday. It is a 1 o'clock kickoff and a noon pregame with the RV Doc pregame show right here on Mix 104.9. Coach, appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jace McDowell, ladies and gentlemen, the defensive backs coach and associate defensive coordinator here for Emporia State. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, we will talk with offensive lineman Talon Wheeler. Talk a little offense. Hornets had a great day passing the ball. He's coming up next. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
Catch the spirit and gear up for game day with Sports Connection, Kansas' leading team sporting goods provider. Sports Connection is your go-to for anything sporting goods, with the biggest brands in sports at competitive prices. Whether you're there for the tailgate or touchdowns, Sports Connection has the ESU fan apparel for game day that you need. Show your Hornet pride and get your fan gear at Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th. Stingers up.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up.
The road to adventure is calling.
Road trip!
If you're planning a road trip, be sure to schedule your maintenance with Black Creek Diesel and Automotive first. Oil changes, alignment, brakes, and tires, everything you need to keep your car cruising. And they'll even give you a free digital inspection. Hit the road with peace of mind. Give them a call today. Black Creek Diesel and Automotive, 620-343-0086. Or stop by 3105 West 6th in Emporia.
At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe education is the key to a brighter future. That's why they support students, teachers, and lifelong learners with smart financial solutions, from savings plans to free financial education tools. Whether you're just starting school or continuing your journey, they're here to help every step of the way. Emporia State Federal Credit Union, where education and community come first. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Attention high school athletes. Newman Regional Health is here to keep you in the game with our Saturday Injury Clinic. Open every Saturday from September 6th to November 1st. Drop by 1301 West 12th Avenue, Suite 105, Entrance C. No appointment needed. Clinic hours are 8 to 11 a.m. with check-ins starting at 7:45. Whether it's a practice injury or a game day setback, our orthopedic and sports medicine experts are ready to help you bounce back fast. Newman Regional Health, helping athletes achieve their healthy goals.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Brought to you by Shelter Insurance. See Dave Watts for a free personal protection review. Mix 104.9.
Back here at Hornet Talk, 627 Event Space. Come and see us. We'll be here Mondays all the way through, gosh, I think that's the second or third Monday in December when we finally take a break during basketball. Basketball Hornet Talks are coming up here, but still a lot of football left to get to, including this big game coming up on Saturday. Family Day at Welch. Number 18, Pittsburgh State is coming in. Hope you'll join us with our pregame coverage at noon on Mix 104.9. This Hornet offense is ranked currently second in the league in passing offense and sixth in the country in passing offense. One of those guys blocking up front is Talon Wheeler. He is a captain on this team, 2'6'3", 295, redshirt senior out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Talon Wheeler joining us here on Hornet Talk, getting set for Saturday's game. Talon, thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, looking at you guys in terms of the passing game for you, overall, I thought for the most part, not that they didn't get to Ben, but they blitz a lot more than the other teams. But Ben had a great day, which means for the most part, you guys had a fairly decent day pass blocking. How do you guys feel like you did in pass protection on Saturday?
I feel like we did pretty good, but, you know, in the end we didn't win, so it comes down to us. I think we still gave up a few sacks, so we didn't win, so we got to play better.
In terms of you guys as leaders on the captain, because you're a captain on this team, how do you guys go about trying to keep the guys' spirits up and provide that leadership for your guys? Because, yeah, back-to-back losses, it's been tough, but there's still a lot of season left and a lot of things for you guys to play for.
I mean, you know, we just got to stay together. That's a big thing. All us leaders are trying to focus on and tell the team is just stay together. We're a family, and this is adversity. You know, we're going to face adversity, so we just got to stay together.
Is it nice to finally kind of feel like you're getting on a regular schedule because you came back, you play on Thursday, then you fly, then there's a bye week. Now you're going on a 5-hour road trip. That's not normal in this conference. Is it nice to finally feel like, okay, now we're getting into a rhythm? We can get into a rhythm now, finally, after that last game.
Yeah, I think just having this Monday off day is good for our bodies, and just getting on the regular schedule, everybody knows, will be good for us.
So it's an off day, and we're talking with Talon Wheeler, redshirt senior offensive lineman out of Oklahoma. You say off day, but that doesn't mean you guys aren't working. You guys said that you had some player-led video that you guys worked on today.
Oh, yeah, we watched the next Pitt State. We watched about an hour of film on them today and just chilled and watched film, took notes.
How do you guys watch film? How do you guys learn how to watch film? Obviously, it would be easier with a coach there or an assistant there kind of directing you, but I'm assuming that you get taught at some point, hey, this is how you need to watch film. How did you learn how to do that to be successful and to be effective?
Just watching like individual, like player by player on the defensive line, linebackers, the fronts, linebacker level, just knowing the fronts, seeing it over and over again, and just getting it in your head.
Looking at this team and what your role is on it, what did it mean to you to be selected as a captain? That's an honor that a lot of guys want, but it's something that's selected by your peers. I know that Coach Higgins talking about the process. There's a lot of things, a lot of boxes you've got to tick to be a captain. What does it mean to be a captain on this team here in your redshirt senior year?
I mean, I love this place. I mean, I've been here. This is my 5th year, which sounds crazy. It feels like I just got here yesterday. But
it happens to a lot of guys.
Yeah. But I love the culture around here and just how many guys buy in as soon as they get here. And
Coach Cashdollar was our guest last week. He was here. I don't know if he stepped out, but he was here. What's it like to have Coach Cash not only as your OC but also as your offensive line coach?
I think it's great. I love the way he coaches. Just not even just pushing the offense, just pushing the O-line. I think he's done a great job since he's been here.
In terms of you personally, what have you been studying here at Emporia State?
Health and physical education.
Okay, health and physical ed. Have you decided what your future is going to be with that degree? What do you want to do with that degree? Or maybe you don't want to use it. What do you want to do after Emporia State?
Possibly teaching and coaching, but I do have a other side. I would like to do like blue collar work. So,
okay.
Yeah. So like painting houses.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So I guess 2 things. What has drawn you in the coaching direction to be, a teacher and be a football coach? What kind of excites you about that path?
Just making an impact in younger generation.
And then obviously painting would be a lot, or whatever that turns out to be. That would be a lot different. I'm assuming that comes from a desire to do something a little bit more physical.
Yeah, just like the hard work factor, and just I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit in the inside.
Sure.
Work. Yeah.
So you have to be able to escape and get outside and do something. Okay, totally understand. How does it finally feel to have a home game? I mean, it seems like a year since you guys have been at home. It's been just under a month, but finally you guys will be back. How exciting is it to know that, hey, we're going to be in Emporia, sleep in our beds, and we'll have our game day routine and get back to the Hornet Walk on Saturday?
Yeah, I think we're all excited to have a home game, especially Pitt State. We love having these big games at home. So,
final thing on your student-led scout, what are a couple of notes that you've noticed in your hour or two of looking at Pittsburgh State today? Anything jump out on film from you about the Gorillas?
They're high effort. I don't really want to go in too much, but
just sure, yeah. You don't have to give away any secrets. Just anything that you've seen from them other than that.
They're high effort. They all play hard. We're going to have to bring it too.
Okay, Talon Wheeler, redshirt senior captain. He's the left guard on this Emporia State offensive line, and he will be leading the attack for the Emporia State offense as they try to take down these Gorillas and beat them for the 2nd straight year. We'll have the coverage with kickoff at 1 o'clock on Saturday on Mix 104.9. Talon, thanks so much for the time. Best of luck to you in the future. Talon Wheeler, ladies and gentlemen, joining us here for Hornet Talk. And we'll wrap things up. We'll get the coach back on, and we'll talk a little bit more about these Gorillas when we come back. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Find out how Kelly Medrano can help with your auto, home, and life needs.
It's time to fall forward into football season and cheer on your favorite team. So why not get new gear for you and your family at Sports Connection? Sports Connection carries Emporia High and area high school team apparel, as well as ESU, KU, and K-State gear. They also do custom screen printing for your team, booster club, or your family and fans. Catch the spirit with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Newman Regional Health Medical Partners is proud to provide the same orthopedic and sports medicine care trusted by the athletes on the Hornet fields. Their expert medical team serves the greater Emporia area with comprehensive treatment for sprains, fractures, joint pain, and sports-related injuries. Trusted by athletes and available to everyone. Schedule your appointment today with Newman Regional Health Medical Partners at 620-343-2376. Newman Regional Health, achieving healthy goals.
At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe education is the key to a brighter future. That's why they support students, teachers, and lifelong learners with smart financial solutions, from savings plans to free financial education tools. Whether you're just starting school or continuing your journey, they're here to help every step of the way. Emporia State Federal Credit Union, where education and community come first. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th, here in Emporia.
Mix 104.9.
Emporia State is back at home on Saturday. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas coming in. We're joined by head coach Garen Higgins. Coach, feels like we're kind of finally getting into the groove, into the grind now, but I know from the past 2 years, this is kind of what you prefer, to kind of be in the regular schedule now.
Regular schedule. I mean, coaches, we're creatures of habit. All right, so it has been a little bit different for us, and I think it's been different for our players too. I mean, I didn't mind the open date. Like I said, I mean, I felt like that we needed to get better, and like I said, we got better in some areas. Again, it's just some of those mistakes have really have cost us. But it's nice to be on a regular schedule now. We're going to be hooked up. It's there's no more open dates. It's Sunday late, Monday late. That's why I was about late getting here. Is Monday's big game plan day. We set in our coach's room, our office in the big staff room there. There's no windows.
Sure.
You wouldn't know if it was raining out or what's it doing outside. And then we have all these drawings up. We like that movie. Steve Rocap came in today to check on us. I told him it's like a beautiful mind.
Sure.
All the diagrams and all that. We're just trying to find the ones that work.
Yeah, you have the string attached to people and do all that.
Yeah.
What is a typical Monday like for you guys? Obviously, the players have an NCAA mandated day off,
Yeah.
so they can come in and see you guys
Right.
get treatment, but there's no practice or anything, nothing mandatory. So that obviously gives you guys the time that you need to kind of put some plans together. What does that look like for you?
Well, it kind of starts on Sunday after we get done watching the game film with the players. We bring them in at 3:30, and then what I usually do is I'll watch the previous game, just kind of see how what they're doing, how they call the game, and then I'll kind of watch a little bit of a team that may be similar to us, to kind of see how they defended us.
Sure.
And then we both sides are doing that, offense and defense. Of course, I'm over on the offensive side a lot, and sometimes I go in there and watch, with the defense too, and just kind of see what they like to do offensively. And then Monday morning we come in together, and the first thing we do is we do special teams in the morning, and then each individual coach will watch the special teams they're in charge of. And then we'll get back to watching cut-ups as a staff on both sides of the ball. And then usually we get together around 10:30, 10 a.m., and that's when we kind of start putting together the game plan. What we like, what we don't like, how we're going to attack these guys, both sides of the football, who are the guys we need to be aware of defensively, offensively. And then at 1:30 we'll have a special teams meeting where they're all together, and we'll put the special teams game plan together.
Okay.
So right now we kind of got the game plan kind of in, and now we just got to get it all like in columns and get everything separated with third down, your base offense, your third and long, what you're going to do on third and long, kind of get all those things together. If there's anything new that we're doing, get those diagrams drawn up for the players. Technology is
You guys use a lot of it.
There's no question. I don't know how to use half of it. All right, but our players can get what we're doing on the phone. They can look at the phone and see the plays that we're going to be doing that week, even before they get to the locker room tomorrow. So that's kind of and then we got a script for practice. We'll do that tonight too, when we go back, kind of see what our plan for practice is going to be tomorrow, and then then the week starts Tuesday.
Coach, I asked the talent this. How good does it finally feel to be at home?
It feels great. It feels like we hadn't been at home forever. All right.
It almost has been.
It's the schedules are different every year, of course, and last year it was nice. We had 6 home games. Now we got 5. But it's nice to be playing Pitt at home. I feel like we've never played them at home in a while.
Sure.
So it's good to have them at our place on Saturday.
You didn't want to go to Northwest Missouri and Pittsburgh State both on the road for the 3rd straight year?
No, I finally got Mike Racy, the commissioner, to like me a little bit. I guess. I don't know.
Increase the flower basket. I don't know. Well, you mentioned the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. This is a balanced team. I'm sure that the film that you watched them playing a pretty talented Fort Hays State team, which they beat. I'm sure you came away pretty impressed. They've had a lot of tight games this year. They've all been close, but they've played really tough competition. All have been receiving votes or ranked in the top 25. So what are your initial thoughts on this Pitt State team?
Well, they will be quite possibly the best team we've played up to this point. I know Angelo State is really good, but Pitt beating Fort Hays like they did this past Saturday. Of course, they had them at home. And, I thought Fort Hays really had an opportunity to beat them last year. And as I said, I thought Fort Hays coming into this year would be 1 or 2 picked,
Sure.
preseason pick to win the conference, So, and they had a returning starter coming back at quarterback. So Pitt played really well, and they're a very good football team. They've played a very, very tough schedule. They're kind of finding their groove right now. And I know that us going there last year to the Jungle and beating them in a Saturday night primetime game,
sure. I
know that they're going to be ready to come here this Saturday and play us. And at the same time, I believe our guys are going to be ready too. To be quite honest with you, like I said, we are a competitive group. We just got to cut down on the mistakes.
Coach, getting a big one on Saturday. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Blake.
Head coach Karen Higgins, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set for Family Day on Saturday at Welch Stadium. That's our show for today. Thanks for everybody coming out tonight or listening online at KVOE.com/listen.
Thanks to the great folks here at 627 Event Space. Make sure you tip your server. We'll see you next week for the show. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Thanks to Grace Ish back at our KFFX studios. I'm Blake Cripps. I'll talk to you Saturday from Welch Stadium here in Emporia.
Motive. Emporia State Federal